Welcome back, everybody, to episode 206 of the Lookout Podcast. I am Meelz. I'm here with LJ Wheeler, and we are officially on the last part of Yu-Gi-Oh! How do you feel about this journey thus far? This Yu-Gi-Oh! And
Okay,
this...
I'll say this. First of all, Grand Rising, brother. I am very sorry for choosing this time for us to record.
No, it's fine. I mean, I wouldn't have agreed if I didn't want to do it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I know that. So I felt that when you originally was like, "Hey, what time?" And I was just like, "Oh, let me just throw a time out there." I was like, "It's gonna end up becoming a negotiation, so you're gonna just throw back a counter time." And
Sure.
You're like, "Okay, that's fine." And I was like, "Oh," it's like now I felt stuck. I was like, I gotta be a man now. I can't go back.
You sure did. Mean things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, listen.
Didn't think I would do that.
I did not. You put I fell into your trap card. There you go.
Sure did. So this is probably the earliest I've ever recorded. This is close to the earliest. I think I've done. No, I don't think I've done earlier than this. I might have done 10 a.m. The weird part is, we used to do this and record Mount Silver same time, and Pat would be up. So I'm like, Pat, why are you up at 7 a.m.? And he would just be up. He was like, this is when I wake up.
Yeah, Pat's a psycho. Yeah, shout out to Pat. I love Pat. But yeah, he's crazy, dude.
No, it is what it is. But I think we're working through this together. And, we'll get more and more awake as we do this. But yes, definitely recording at 8 a.m. your time, 9 a.m. my time. Definitely a new adventure. If you can hear the tiredness in our voice, it's because we probably just woke up.
Yeah. And I definitely went out last night. So
oh really? Wow.
Yeah. I was having fun. I was outside just for
what, as you should.
Listen, it was hey, let's go watch a Wolves game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which, listen, hey, let's go Knicks in 7. You already know the vibes. Yeah, but it was like, oh, let's go watch the Wolves game. I'm like, oh, bet. And then that ass kicking turned into let's celebrate. And I'm just like, I'm not even cheering for these guys, but you know what? I'm happy for y'all.
I'm rooting for the Wolves to win. Well, if the Knicks don't win, I'm rooting for the Wolves to win. And I'm hoping that we both can get to at least to the finals. So I'd be pretty okay.
Yeah, Knicks Wolves finals, I would definitely be at a game for sure.
It would definitely be like, oh yeah, we both made it here, but you can't win. You know that, right? Like, we have to win.
I will be at there. Knicks geared up.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
ready. We're the half cat shirt, half Timberwolves, half Knicks.
Hey, okay,
down the middle.
You ever seen the split Jordan jersey? That's like
of course.
That's a hood classic. I love that one.
I don't think
Wolves one.
Unfortunately, I think the Wolves jerseys and the Knicks jerseys are created completely differently in the way they're like.
Yeah, if I see a split cat jersey, I'm just gonna applaud them for making it work. However,
yeah, because one, you're gonna look like one of your shoulders is higher than the other because they just cut the jerseys cut differently. It just does. So, it is what it is. But we'll figure it out. But we actually do have a little bit of news. It's not that important of news, even though I guess it's important of news.
Yeah, I think it's important because I feel that I won't say it's important as if like it's going to be changing, but I feel that this is it's the premier anime awards.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only one that I know or care about at this point. And caring is a stretch because it airs in Japanese time, so no one is up to be able to watch this or celebrate this or indulge in this. So that's also kind of an L on their part, because it used to be hey, America. But then they were like, actually, anime is more popular in Japan. We should do it over there. So then they just started doing it.
Because they'll use American artists and people to do announcements and stuff for it. So
listen, man, I'm just as still, I feel like they just need to do 2 or something of the rather, because I'm not watching this, and I didn't even watch it last year. And Megan Thee Stallion was there last year. I didn't watch that.
Wasn't she there this year too?
No, she wasn't.
Okay.
I highly doubt it.
She's she's too busy dealing with the other cornballs.
Absolutely. So we got a couple things, awards that have been given out. Let's just start with the biggest one. Anime of the year was given to Solo Leveling. I'm not surprised. And everyone in the comments is saying like, Solo Leveling doesn't deserve Anime of the Year. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even remember the nominees, but
it was Dandadan, Delicious and Dungeon, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Kaiju Number 8, Solo Leveling, and Pocket 3 Diaries.
So I didn't watch any of those, except Solo Leveling and Dandadan. I did watch Kaiju Number 8. Either way, I did like Solo Leveling more than Dandadan. And
you
Kaiju
like Solo
8.
Leveling more than Dandadan? That was surprising.
Yes, I have thoughts about Dandadan. It's not that it's bad. It's just that.
Do you think it's just too left field?
I think it's just not. It didn't grip me with the plot as much as Solo Leveling did.
But Solo Leveling's plot is Hunter x Hunter's plot.
It was an easier plot to follow.
Yeah,
and I think one to get wrapped up in.
It's nothing but vibes and power ups.
If Dandadan was vibes, it's just a different set of vibes. Dandadan wasn't. I don't think Dandadan's first season was like. It was good for the way it was promoted and the animation and a couple other things, but realistically, I don't think Dandadan was like. It didn't blow me away at any point. Like, it really didn't, except that one episode. It was like maybe episode 6, but it really didn't blow me away at any point during.
I think that for me, I'm looking at it as, I guess, for Dandadan, I think it should have won Anime of the Year. My personal opinion, and I think it was a better anime. But also too, I think that it had a bigger presence than Solo Leveling did.
It sure did, but I think it's a little mixture of a couple things. Recency bias, the fact that Solo Leveling season 2 is currently airing and Dandadan season 2 isn't currently airing, is a big thing. Even though Dandadan just finished, but like Solo Leveling, season 2 was airing as this voting was going on, and it also was like notable for people who watch Solo Leveling. So I wouldn't actually be surprised if they do it again next year. Even actually, it would probably be very, very hard to repeat, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's nominated again next year. But to me,
it for sure will. I think that Solo Leveling is definitely going to ride the wave until they can't ride the wave anymore. Which is like, listen, I watch Solo Leveling. I think it's straight. It's cool. I'm not gonna say it's the best thing I've ever seen, but I'm also not gonna say it's the worst thing I've ever seen. There's some very you didn't even attempt to hide the fact that you're copying someone's homework parts of it. But I will say that I think for me, it has established itself as a good entryway anime.
Absolutely.
Because it's not too much. It's not like it's hard to follow things. Like, everything's pretty basic level with it. It's nothing goes super duper deep. Like, the fight scenes and all that stuff, like, it looks really cool. You have a cool main character. Like, everything that you really kind of want in a, hey, if you want to start watching anime, start watching Solo Leveling, because it's not like this thing or you got to think too hard about it. Like, it kind of gives you the skeleton of what a good shonen anime is.
And the first half of Don to Don is, grandma trying to grab some kids' balls. So
Yeah, so it is definitely more left field, and it's definitely not something that I would tell a person like, hey, you should watch this if this is your first time ever watching anime.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of going on with these best continuing series. Went to Demon Slayer, Ashira training arc. I have no idea how that happened.
I don't know either. That was
especially considering it was up against Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, My Hero Academia Season 7, One Piece, Oshino no Ko, and Spy Family Season 2. I have no idea how probably the least interesting, least talked about arc of Demon Slayer won this, but it did. Especially considering it was a filler arc that was expanded 7 episodes that really no one watched until the final one. Best New Series, which has legitimately the same nominees as Anime of the Year for somehow, is Solo Leveling. So Solo Leveling also wins that. Film of the Year goes to Look Back. Obviously, we love Look Back. We love the craziness of Fujimoto.
I mean, that's
yeah, but it also went up against the Haikyuu movie, the Mononoke movie, the My Hero Academia movie, the Spy Family movie.
Yeah, no, the Film of the Year one was actually a pretty loaded, because I've seen almost everyone on here except The Colors Within.
Mm-hmm.
And those are all really good movies.
I agree. Best Original Anime, Ninja Kamui.
Yeah,
I don't know
how that happened either.
The other ones must have been
the
terrible.
Only reason why I feel that happened is because Lazarus isn't done yet. Lazarus came out too late.
Maybe
Lazarus will definitely win next year.
Best Animation goes to Demon Slayer. It probably has won Best Animation for the last number of years for its really good animation. But also nominated in that category was Don to Don, which has really good animation.
I think that animation was so much better.
Delicious in Dungeon, haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's good. Frieren Beyond Journey's End, haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's good. Kaiju number 8 was cool, and Solo Leveling was also cool. It wasn't anything like but I would give it to Demon Slayer. But Demon Slayer, it's like 90% animation. Best character design goes to Onda and Dandadan. Shout out to that, I guess. Best director goes to Saito of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Best romance goes to Blue Box. Shout out to the Blue Box community.
Yeah, shout out to Blue Box, baby.
It beat Ranma 1/2. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. A Sign of Affection, Makian, and The Dangers in My Heart Season 2. So shout out to that.
Shout out. So, my kid watched Ranma 1/2. She loved it. She's like, where is like Season 2? She's like
Season 1 half.
Yeah, I know, right? She was like, yeah, she's watching Season 2. It's funny because lately she has been getting heavy into like more romance anime.
Good for her. It's, all part of the preteen evolution.
It's happening before my eyes. It's kind of cool to see. Some things I have to vet out before I allow her to watch.
Of course, because it's anime.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, it's kind of cool. She's definitely giving heavy into her slice of life. She's been watching The Disastrous Life of Saki K. Like she's
wow.
That. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love to hear it. Best comedy goes to Mashal, Magic Muscles and the Divine, Visionary Canada Exam Arc. Best action goes to Solo Leveling. Again, there's a lot of great action. Best Isekai goes to ReZero Season 3. Best drama goes to Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Best slice of life goes to Makian, Too Many Losing Heroines. Best main character goes to Sung Jinwoo, for Solo Leveling. Best supporting character, Fern Frieren Beyond Journey's End. The must protect at all cost character goes to Anya Forger of Spy Family Season 2. Best anime song goes to Otonoke by Creepy Nuts for Don to Don. I agree.
Yeah, definitely. That one was hard.
Best song goes to Ryoki Sawano's Solo Leveling. Best opening sequence, Don to Don. Best ending sequence, Solo Leveling. Best Voice actor in English is Alex Lee as Sung Jun-woo. To be honest with you, it sounds like all his other roles, except he's like sexying it up a little bit. But
yeah, I mean, listen,
and apparently Attack on Titan won Best Global Impact Award. All right. If the Global Impact was trying to stop racism, and failing
horribly, you're like, nah, we need it in the world for balance.
Mm-hmm. But that was kind of it. I'm sure there's more. Maybe it's still going on, but probably not. But anime awards, take it how you.
Do you feel that anime awards? Trying to think how I want to say this. It's not like it needs a governing body or something.
No,
but I feel that every year though, we go through this thing. Oh, there's one anime that's maybe the most anticipated. That maybe everyone's looking forward to it. And then it was like that one anime that just cleans up the entire anime award thing.
It's tough for me because I don't feel like the best are all judged together. Like if you look at anime of the year, it's legitimately the same category as best new anime of the year. But then you have really good anime, like in my opinion, My Hero Academia Season 7, or One Piece, or other anime, even Bleach, like things that tell really, really good stories that just aren't nominated with everything because they're not current and or things. So I legitimately feel like we've got some great anime of the year categories that just aren't new. The mere fact One Piece is still going 20 plus years later and still relatively good for whatever arc that they're in, says something. Same with My Hero, their 17th season. It's their best season, to be honest with you. Like
One Piece, and even One Piece, I think season 7 of My Hero should have gotten more love for sure.
You brought Bleach back from the dead and don't even give it
any
nominations.
Do you think it's just because these are like legendary acts at this point and they're just like
I think it's hard to categorize them, but it really shouldn't be, to be honest.
No, I feel it's anime. End of the day, anime of the year is saying which season of anime this year was the best, point blank period.
Yeah, when it aired from beginning to end. I know that One Piece is like not something that really stops, I guess. But
One Piece though had maybe 3. If I'm doing top 10 anime moments of the year, it has probably 3 of them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just the mere fact that like this was the year. I'm sure that the episode that broke the internet should have been nominated. Oh my god, what was it? Joy Boy. What's his form called?
Oh, the Gear 5.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But it's like that, and then you have the Garp versus Alkoji, and then you have which literally turned into a meme with them two dapping up at
right. And then like I'm sure because it was still ongoing this year that Daima was not nominated, but Daima will likely be nominated next year, but I don't think it'll be nominated in the same way as everything else. So
and then it's like one of those things of it'll be so long.
Yeah, that too.
Where it's kind of just like people gonna be like, "Oh, Daima," like, right? Kind of forgot about that. Like it will be one of those things. Not to say it was forgettable, but it's just like it's been a whole even longer than a year essentially since it ran.
Right. I think they've done a good job at the window for things to be nominated, because last year they did the unfortunate thing where they cut off the fall anime, which was the most popular anime, but they had the awards in the spring, but they cut off the fall anime for last year. So everyone's like, where's this? Where's this? Where's this? Where's this? So I think they've done a better job at getting the window right. But then I also feel like there's more things that they could kind of clean up. But shout out to everyone who voted. Shout out to everyone who was part of the governing body. Shout out to everyone at Crunchyroll for flying to Japan and making this happen.
Was Victoria a part of it?
Yes, she was.
Yeah, shout out to Victoria.
Shout out to Victoria. Let's get into Yu-Gi-Oh. We are
Oh
in
man.
the final stretch of episodes. It is the final 9 to 10 episodes of this season, and unfortunately, there's about one episode that really matters, maybe 1.5. Technically, it's more, but really, if you're thinking about the stakes of next season, it's about 1.5 episodes that actually matter, tops. And that's really some bullshit, but it is what it is. Everything matters in this little stretch, but also it's filler. So but then some of it's just bad. So
This just felt like they were trying to sell me more products.
Things happen. I think they did a good job at like trying to make it make sense, right? Like, other than the Rebecca thing. Well, the Rebecca thing also has its.
Nah, man, the Rebecca thing was such bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
Gramps should have been like, "Hey, listen, little nigga."
Yeah. Shut your trap. You know what I'm saying? Or something grandpa like.
Tell your grandpa to get his money up and not his funny up. Get out of here.
Absolutely. Let's talk about post Duelist Kingdom, because that's the 1.5 episodes I was talking about that mattered. So,
oh yeah, for sure. I knew that was that, because you finally get to learn about Pegasus and his whole backstory and his whole meaning behind even wilding out for a little bit.
They transformed him into a good guy. It was essentially. He was like, oh, he's doing this for good reasons, but he's still an asshole. Duelist. So the lore of the show actually begins in this episode. And when I talk about the lore of the show, I mean understanding the roles of Millennium puzzles within this thing, understanding the ancient Egyptian artifacts and all this other stuff like that. Everything that was kind of like hinted before under the guise of this tournament where you get to go and beat up Rex Raptor and Weevil Underwood and all this other stuff like that kind of was just the plot of Duelist Kingdom. Now kind of begins the plot of be trying to figure out who's the evil nigga that lives inside Yugi. You know what I'm saying? And what the Millennium items mean, and why is Bakura going after all of them? So
my 40... Bakura started going crazy.
Oh, listen.
Also,
go ahead.
Okay, once again, Bakura having an immense amount of powers, because I'm just throwing teleportation in it. Tristan chucked that Millennium Ring.
Sure did.
And then it just magically appeared back.
Sure the hell did.
Like, we never seen him leave the front door. We never seen him like dip out, be like, no, like, let me get mine. Like, we never see it. It just pops right back on him.
It doesn't. It's not even explained. Not even in the Japanese version. It just happens. Maybe it's just a part of him. Who knows,
bro? It just appears on his body, bro.
Like, so Yugi and them, we kick it off with Yugi and them running through the castle and saying, we're trying to find Pegasus and where he went. And then suddenly out of nowhere, they remember the tower from the dream that they had their memories erased from. And they're like, oh my God, isn't that the tower from the memories that we had erased? It seems vaguely familiar, even though my memories was erased. Let's go up to that tower. We head into the private tower, us vantage point, the viewers, and Pegasus is in there. And he's like, damn, I took an L. Heavy L. But I'm a man of my word, so I'll release these poor souls. And he releases everyone's souls, and everyone starts to wake up and have a good time. And then just then, evil Bakura shows up, Skepta, in the flesh. And he says, listen, he gives him a tarot card reading, some weird bullshit tarot card reading with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And he then says, I'm going to challenge you to a shadow game.
You fell in love, but it ended tragically because it's upside down.
Yeah. Whatever. So then he challenges to a shadow game, but it's not a shadow game that involves dual monsters, which is the first of its kind in this show. It just involves lasers. And
he was just like, let's have a staring contest. Whoever blinks first loses. Like,
my chain will shoot at your eye and you'll fight back. But because Pegasus is worn out from the shadow game with Yugi, he loses, and then he gets his Millennium Eye taken. and that is the end of Pegasus chapter. And that's who you decide to name your company after. Um, there's a good Ether. I love
Yeah,
Ether, by the way. I just every couple months I listen to it. I was like, this is so disrespectful, but it's so funny.
it's so funny. Like
It's
he
very
just
funny.
he went full like school table,
Yeah.
like roast session.
I rock hoes, y'all rock fellas. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Um, so Pegasus is carried out by Croquet. And they're like, oh my God, Pegasus, what happened to him? He's like, don't worry about it. You're going to get your prize money. You're going to get your everything. Just get out of here. Um,
Yeah,
they go up to the room. They read Pegasus's diary. And that's when we find out all about the trauma.
uh, they just
He's
invaded his privacy.
sure the hell did.
They're just like,
But
oh, his diary. Let's read it. I was like, damn. I was like, this really is. You know what? That really is a early 2000s thing. You
no,
think about
it is.
you think about how many shows, not even just like animation. Like I think Full House has a damn episode where
Niggas don't have journals no more, bro.
yeah, no, niggas don't have listen, they just text on their phone. They just got on their note
Absolutely.
tab. But yeah, there's so many like episodes of just being like, oh, I found Sarah's diary. What did she write in it? And then they figure out
Yeah.
he secretly dislike somebody or some
Of
shit like
course, yeah. They find out Pegasus's whole entire scheme. I don't know. I wouldn't have read it all there, but I'm sure they got the spark notes that he lost his love Cecilia due to some illness, and he's trying to research ways to bring her back. That's how you know niggas type crazy. It's like if she gone, she gone. Worth the
he
party next door and Drake.
said.
Um, but he tries to like revive her and decides, oh my God, they have this ancient Egyptian thing. So he heads out to Egypt, goes into the pyramids, um, runs into Shadi. Shadi is like, if you are worthy of this millennium eye, you will not die if I put it in your head. So he puts it in his head and he doesn't die. And he's like, you are worthy of the millennium eye. And he uses it, and he's trying to use that and Kyber Corp technology, um, holograms to somehow revive Cecilia. Obviously doesn't work because he loses, doesn't even get control of Kyber Corp, nothing like that. But then we do see Shadi in the show. So how convenient is that? Shadi just shows up out of nowhere once he's first mentioned in his diary. And he confronts Yugi and he enters his mind using the Millennium Key, which is a
Yeah.
very big
Shut
Ankh
up.
symbol. I was like, all right, 5%er.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's big 5%er. Big. What's the daily mathematics?
Yeah, for sure. Shadi, come on, man. His name is Shadi.
Yeah, I was gonna say his name alone. You know
Um,
he about it. He on his P's and Q's.
he enters Yugi's mind, or at least the Millennium Puzzle's mind, and he's going through all the mazes and all this other stuff like that. He runs up against the Dark Magician. Dark Magician is like, "Yo, who this nigga over here?" Um, but then Yugi is like, "Yo, Dark Magician, chill. He's good. He's good people. Fall back." And then Shadi leaves his mind and is like, this kid right here, he's going to save the world. I know it. This kid. But he also says, listen, the nigga who took the Millennium Eye is definitely going to come after you as well. So be on your P's and Q's. Someone took that Millennium Eye.
The funniest part about this is when Shadi first gets into his mind, and then you see he's like, "There's two doorways. I've never seen this before." He's like, there's one that's full of innocence, and you go in there, it's nothing but like children's toys and stuff like that. I'm just like, is that what goes through Yugi's head? It's just like monkeys with symbols. Like,
yeah, I mean, it may be. I mean, I guess they're trying to.
Listen, bro, it ain't nothing but listen. The wind blows, it whistles between his ears, and then you like you have this other mysterious door, and then Yami's over there just like stanced up. If you come any further, though, who are you and why are you in my mind?
So this ends up being kind of like how they wrap it up, and the show from here becomes a lot more about Millennium items, becomes a lot more ancient Egyptian, has a lot more stakes to it as people are trying to. You realize people are now going after Millennium items. But would you like to hear how this went in the manga?
Yes, absolutely. You already know I want to.
Okay, of course. Um, in the manga, Yugi already met Shadi before Duelist Kingdom, and because he had to play some shadow games with him to essentially prove that he was the right holder for the Millennium Puzzle, and there's a whole arc for it. Um, so when he sees Shadi again, he's not really surprised, but no one runs away. Pegasus doesn't run away. He's still at the table that they're dueling at. There's not really the heavy Kaiba technology plot. Pegasus frees the souls, and you see all the souls like flying through there and going back to their person. Um, upon losing, Yugi essentially presses Pegasus. Is like, "How'd you get your Millennium item?" And he's like, "I'll tell you." Um, and it follows a similar plot of the whole Sicilia thing, and he goes to ancient Egypt, but he runs into Shadi, who is running down on some thief who tries to steal a Millennium item, and Shadi kidnaps the thief, but Pegasus follows him. It's like, I gotta see where this is going. So the thief tries to get bestowed with one of the Millennium items, but since he is not worthy, the Millennium item he stole, rather, since he is not worthy, he burns to crisp. He's done. He's dead. Um, But then Shadi sees them. He's like, "Oh, that's the nigga who followed me. Grab him." So they grab him and also put him through the Millennium Eye test and stick the eye in his eyeball. And he doesn't die. And he sees his wife for a second and he's like, "Wow, only for a second? Damn. I need to see her more."
This nigga should have watched full. As a nigga that's into comics and manga and stuff, he should have read Full Metal Alchemist.
You should have. You should have.
You should have known how this goes, bro. When you try to bring somebody back from the dead.
So Pegasus is still, he doesn't, you know, they wish him well. Eventually they go and they free Mokuba and Kaiba and they all fly off. But as that scene is airing, they cut back and Bakura has just defeated Pegasus in a duel game and legitimately pulls out his Millennium Eye and is licking the blood from the eye that he pulled out of. And he says 2 down, 5 to go, and that is how that ends. It's very gory the way you just see a shot of Pegasus kind of like clearly dead or at least eyeless, sitting there with blood running out of where the Millennium Eye was. So
But, yeah. Bakura just going full blown like, nah,
evil.
I'm the real villain here.
He is the real villain. Believe it or not.
He's like, nah, fuck all that. Like, we taking things by force around here. I ain't caring about these card games.
Mandem. The Rebecca arc of this anime. It's really some bullshit. I don't really want to go too deep into it. This girl pulls up, says, "Hey, your grandpa stole, my grandpa's blue eyes white dragon. Give it back." He's like, "I didn't steal it." He's like, "Yes, you did. And I want to duel you." So they head over to Kaiba Land, which is crazy. It's just how important is Kaiba in the city, in Domino City? It's like, no, Kaiba Land, and it's just like blue eyes white dragons, duel things. It's like, and Mokuba's like, we're all booked up until May, but I think I have a room that I can give you guys. I was like, nigga, I'm the king of card games. Watch your fucking mouth.
Also, didn't I just save you?
Yeah.
Like, show a little respect.
Niggas is ungrateful. With that said, they get the empty dueling thing. Yugi battles in his grandfather's place. They have their little battle, which is not really that important of a duel. The duels here aren't important until Battle City starts, essentially. And then the grandfather shows up, and he's like, "Oh my god, your grandfather's Arthur Hawkins. I know that nigga." And he tells the story of how they met, which is, we were researching hieroglyphs and how they resemble duel monsters.
Now Grandpa is also a damn archaeologist.
Yeah. He's suddenly an archaeologist. He's been an archaeologist all of his life.
Yeah.
With Arthur Hawkins.
And he's like, "Nah." He's like, "Oh, let me open up a trading card store."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go in the tomb, but then suddenly the roof in the tomb caves in, and he was like, "Well, until someone helps us, you know, we got nothing to do here, and there's only a amount of water for one of us. So you know what? Fuck it. Let's duel over who lives and they're able to drink the water. It's only one. I was like, bro, y'all could just split the water. How is there
That's
enough
what
water
I'm
for
saying.
one person?
I'm like,
That's not.
y'all are dueling for a sip. At the, like at this point, there's
Don't
only
just
enough water for one of us. I'm like, is there really? I'm like,
just cover your mouth and gulp gulp. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all trying to live or what? Um,
you could give him a cap full.
there was only enough water for one nigga apparently,
So there's one shot left in this Henny bottle,
and it's for me. Um, and so they have the thing, but eventually Yugi's grandpa surrenders. He goes, "It's like I knew Arthur needed the water, so I surrendered in the battle," and it echoes real life because Yuki surrenders. But then Arthur Hawkins pulls up, and he's like, "Actually, while Yugi surrendered, he could have won." And she's like, "Well, I won." And he's like, "Yes, but he could have won, so therefore he won."
it's just like, how does Yugi cheat so well? He like the universe just cheats for this man.
It's he just
That's his
has
millennium. That's his millennium gift. Is that he's an elite cheater.
easily. So you know
Like
what?
it's like, how do you still get the dub and you gave up?
He feels sorry for the girl and he gives her the card that Pegasus just gave him, which I think is kind of rude, to be honest with you.
No,
And
yeah, for sure. It's like,
it,
bro, you just won that.
yeah, he's like, I don't need this bullshit. It's not even an actual card. Um,
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is that card like?
I don't think so. I think legitimately that's the last time we see that card. Um,
He was like,
Pegasus does come
hated
back in
it.
the show, and he gives them another card though. So maybe it's getting rid of that and to make room for this. It's very like Pokemon, like I'm giving you the Sylph key this time and not, that other bullshit key that I gave you, the key to the basement.
Yeah.
The Legendary Heroes arc. What a way this arc starts. Kaiba comes back, he's like, I knew you guys were trying to overthrow my company. Get the fuck out. And I'm like, whoa, Kaiba. Listen, I know you want to fire us, but that virtual game you've been working on, nigga, we finished that shit. And Kaiba's like, well, I do love a good game.
he folded so quickly.
He's like,
Even
excuse me?
even Mokubo was like, bro, hey, wait, I like eyes on the prize here. What are you doing?
He's like, no, Mokuba, I need to play this game. I need to see if it's working. Or entire funds and things are, into this thing. So he hops into virtual reality pod.
Oh
to,
God.
To which all the executives like, got his ass. Knock him out. So now he's trapped in the game, trapped by a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card. And Mokuba's like, Yugi, Tristan, Joey, Taya, I know I try to just legitimately not give you one of these things, but can you go save my mans? So they
Again?
yeah.
Again. Not too far after you just saved him. He goes and does some stupid. I would have told him no. I'm like, no, you have reached your quota for the year of me saving y'all.
Well, that's not what Yugi is about. He's about saving niggas. So he pulls up. Mind you, none of this is in the manga, so it's not really telling a story point. It's clearly filler. So
all of it feels like filler.
Yeah, they enter the game and it's this RPG and it's this like fantasy RPG where there are different outfits and they battle like real life Yu-Gi-Oh card versions of things. And they run into Mai, and I was like, Mai, why are you here? She was like, I'm beta testing the game for Kaiba Corp. And I'm just like, you? The girl who doesn't win? Just like, a check is a check.
How much they pay her though? Because most of the time, like
she
you
do
get
it
paid
for
for the
bread.
test. That's what I'm saying. Most of the time, you get paid for the testing shit.
Amen. She do it for bread. So They have this entire sequence. They're supposed to castles and reviving shit, and this goes on for way longer than it should. This is like a
I'm like,
three episode arc.
this should have ended halfway through the first episode.
Yeah, this should have been like a one episode thing for sure. Kidnap Mokuba, because that's the thing that happens. They eventually save Kaiba, and they have to go up against all the executives who are like, we only use dragon cards, and everyone pulls out their best dragon card. And then Joey dies, and then Mai dies, and then they're brought back, and then for some reason Yugi's able to summon the Blackluster Soldier and pair it with the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which, let me look if that's actual card or not. Blackluster Soldier with Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Is it an actual fusion card? You know what? It sure is.
It is?
Dragon Master Knight was still 5,000 and 5,000. That's not enough. Mind you, one's a ritual card and one's already a fusion card. So the mere fact that they're able to do this again is kind of crazy.
Well, here we go. Dragon Master Knight limited edition.
It says this card gains 500 attack for each dragon monster you control, except for this card. So if you have more dragon monsters on your field, I guess it goes up, but that's not. It's still pretty strong. I don't even think you need more dragon monsters. So they defeat him, they get out the game, and I think the people are fired, but these aren't the last time you see these niggas, unfortunately. Damn. They're back in another filler arc in season 2 or 3.
How much is this card worth right now?
Check it out.
A grade 9.5, $65.
Yeah. It's probably mad trash now. I don't know. Game has evolved. There's probably way more fire cards now. Dungeon Dice.
Yeah, nah, this lost me.
Yeah, I didn't expect
I was like, let's turn this off.
Yeah, you didn't have to retain any. This duel does not matter. It introduces Duke Devlin, who will be in season 2 for no reason. I legitimately do not know why he's there.
Is he even in? Like, does he do anything in season 2? Like, he's not even in Battle City, is he? A part of. Like,
no, he's not a part of Battle City. Okay. He's with Tristan.
So they're probably gonna stink it up together. Nice.
Kind of, yeah. So Dungeon Dice is a rival game, rival game store in town, and it's the new hotness, as everyone is saying. And it's owned by Duke Devlin, who's like this, sexy kid. You know what I'm saying? Don't clip that out. But instead of cards, he's got dice. And I remember the first episode of this, you're like, I wonder if they use dice, and I'm like, it's coming.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad that how it came up and how it came to be. It made no sense at all. Like, he was making up the rules as they were going.
He was such a douche, and I use douche just by like the way he approached things. He's just like, you'll never be able to beat me. Like, using that kind of like tone of like, 90s TV teenage comedy villain.
Yeah, he was like the hot bad boy.
Yeah,
he's like, I got a sleeveless shirt on and a wristband tied to it in my arm. Like,
easily.
One of those.
What a lame. But
he's like, Joey, you don't talk, you bark because you're a dog.
Yeah, and which is weird. So he gets Joey as a dog servant, and then Yugi has to step in and save Joey once again. So he's like, I'll play your Dungeon Dice monsters. Mind you, has no idea how to play starting this. He's actively losing. He's like, I used the help key and figured out his special ability and shit like that. Like, niggas is just throwing dice.
No, actually, you have a level 4 dice, which doesn't mean that you have to roll that. And I was like, hey.
I'm trying to remember the little quote thing that they would say when he pushed the dice in. He was like, match the dimension to die, or whatever it is. some lame. I was like, ew, nigga, just play Duel Monsters. Like, cut the shit. Anyway,
Dual dice roll.
yeah. I was like, this is not cool. You are
It's
not cool.
not. It's like certain monsters are loaded up in certain sequences. I'm just like, this is whack.
Yeah, this isn't Duel Monsters at all. Heart points, like, come on.
Yeah.
He's mad at Yugi because he's like, yo, Yugi, you say you beat Pegasus, and I know you had to cheat somehow because no one could defeat my OG Pegasus. You know what I'm saying? He
Oh
was
yeah, he's
really
a
like,
Pegasus fanboy.
he was like, nah,
Like
that's
I
my
remember,
OG.
I remember when I played this game against him. His first
That's
time playing it, he smoked me.
yeah, that's Big Bro though. That's Big Bro. So I don't know how you able to do it. So he's dimensioning the die all over the place, and then of course Yugi gets the hang of the game. So now he started whooping this nigga's ass, um, using all types of dark magician and all types of tricks he never actually seen coming. He was like, wait, da da da.
But
Anyway,
actually, I have enough magic points stored up to do my special attack.
yeah, one
Like,
of them things, magical hats. So this wraps up pretty. This is This is a 4 episode arc. This is pretty long, considering no one gives a shit about what happened. Um, and I'll tell you what happens in the manga after this because this is in the manga, but it's not as lame.
Someone gets shot. I've seen people get shot over dice games before. So
Attempted murder for sure. But anyway, Yugi wins this game. And he's like, "Oh my god, you win!" And then he's like, I was such an idiot." You know what I'm saying? I was just upset because I had this meeting with Pegasus, and he was supposed to take on my dungeon dice monsters, and we were supposed to, da 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 da.
He was gonna invest.
Yeah, and you ruined it because you beat him in a duel. So, literally at the end of the episode, an email pops up. He's like, "They actually did invest. Industrial Illusions is taking over, Dungeon Dice Monsters. It's going to become a real thing in 48 countries." And all is well that ends well, and that's how the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh ends, on a fart. But
what's crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Joey won $20,000.
$3 million apparently.
I'm going yen.
Okay, sure.
That's $20,000. I mean, now $20,000 ain't no little bit amount, but I just really thought about all this. Like, did all that for 20 racks? Would you go through what he went through for $20,000?
I don't know if I do I could use 20,000 right now, to be honest with you. You sign me up. Teach me the card games. Teach me the way of the cards.
Now, mind you, this man was potentially, there was at least 3 attempts on his life.
Isn't there always? But I agree. It's a lot for a sum like that. But also, they're kids. $20,000. I mean, get the eye surgery, get the LASIK. You're good to go. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of your life.
Also, they have better health insurance than us over there. They couldn't cover it.
Ancient Egyptian. This is how niggas become ancient Egyptian, artifacts. Here's how this arc happened in the manga, which is completely different, but actually includes elements of future parts of the show for whatever reason. Duke Devlin is the son of Mr. Clown. Mr. Clown battled Yugi's grandpa at some point earlier in life in a shadow game for the Millennium Puzzle. And he lost, and Yugi's grandpa aged him 50 years. So now he has to wear a clown mask because he is not old, but he looks old. And that is...
Go
ahead.
Yugi's grandpa
Getting him in a lot of trouble.
Of all, yeah, like he gets him in some chill the fuck out, Gramps.
So
like Yugi gotta have a real conversation with his grandpa. It's like, listen, bro, I can't keep fighting these past beefs or these beefs that you start but can't finish.
I agree. So
I think it's a
Duke,
liability.
Duke is out for revenge. They do have the rival game store. And fast forwarding through a lot of bullshit, he challenges him to Dungeon Dice Monsters for the Millennium Puzzle. And Duke's Mr. Clown kidnaps Yugi, forces him to play the Dungeon Dice Monsters with Duke. Halfway through the game, Duke is losing, so Yugi's grandfather breaks Duke's father breaks the puzzle. And he's like, "Don't break it," and he breaks it anyway. Yugi, with help from Bakura somehow, defeats Duke. Don't ask why.
God, what is this?
Duke's dad is like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Let me put the chain of the thing around your neck, and we can help you put the puzzle back together." And then he starts choking Yugi with the chain around his neck because he actually doesn't want him to live. He drags Yugi to another room and pins the puzzle's chain down to a table. And Duke's dad tries to put back the Millennium Puzzle himself. But once he does, he gets trapped into some like illusion maze thing, similar to what we saw in a couple other episodes before.
Wait, Top Shata?
Really, yes. But it gets him a little, off, and he starts tripping over things, and he knocks over a candle. And the candle is essentially burning the shop down. But Yugi can't escape unless he puts the puzzle back together. So he's putting the puzzle back together in this burning building. And his friends eventually show up, and he puts the puzzle back together. And his friends eventually show up and save him. I think Jinochi eventually shows up and saves him. And that is how that arc ends. This is how, I'll say this. It's a lot more interesting than whatever the fuck Dungeon Duel Monsters is. But also they wanted to really sell Dungeon Dice Monsters because Dungeon Dice Monsters actually became like a game. I don't know if they became like a real game. I don't know if you can
tell you they were just trying to push a product these last few episodes. You got virtual gaming, you got dice, you got cards that don't exist.
It sure did become an actual board game. I just remember the video game, but it sure did become a board game. But they took out all that other stuff. But
yeah, the manga sounds. I might need to tap into the manga. It sounds lit.
But
this makes what Bandit Keith, it makes his little fiasco seem like light work. Like these niggas really getting active over these card games.
It's funny you say Bandit Keith.
Is that what it is?
Bandit Keith, so in the anime version of the show, in season 2, they actually do the burning thing. The burning, and he has to put back all this puzzle, but the person who he's facing is Bandit Keith.
Hey, why they gotta make the American?
You see why.
They make the American dude the violent one. That's hilarious. They're like, nah, he got to be the one that goes over the edge with it.
It's not. You'll see. You got to see season 2. Season 2 is by far much better than season 1. The way
the stakes, watch it for sure.
The stakes, the evilness. I'll actually watch it too. It's pretty. I'm kind of like locked in low key to however this is going.
We might as well run it. Let's run season 2.
We'll see, because we're definitely going on a short hiatus after this episode, but we will be back with Summer Akame House. So Summer Akame House this year, of course, you'll know what we're covering in a couple relatively soon. But we don't have it fully finalized yet. But it's gonna be some good anime talk. It's gonna be some fun. But how did you enjoy this first season of Yu-Gi-Oh? If you enjoyed it at
all? Okay. Taking all the extras out of it, I had a fun time watching it.
Of course,
it was shenanigans. It was funny. It was like,
that's all we asked for, shenanigans.
Yeah. It was just like it was just a bunch of that, and I was like, I wasn't trying to take it from some like super anime lens or anything of the sort. I was just sitting down and vibing with the show. Now I'll say like these last batch of episodes, I was like, all right, this took me out just a little bit. I was just like, I mean, shout out to the outfit change though. You got the black tracksuit and everything like that. That was pretty lit.
It doesn't last.
I know it doesn't. I know he goes back to the belt necklace and
he transforms. He customizes it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like just a little bit, not too crazy. It actually more whack, but it's a
more
you know
whack is crazy.
Yeah, he customizes it a little bit, but
no, like overall though, like
yeah,
I understand. Like it helped me understand though why this became popular for children.
Absolutely.
I'm like, okay, like I get it, and it's kind of like I understand why the card games became popular. I understand why all of that, and I was like, okay, like it helped me. It helped me get the lore, helped me get the the backstory of like, okay, I'm not gonna say it's the best one, and I'm gonna definitely watch Battle City since everyone says like, no, that's actually like season 2 is actually the season where it's like shit is good.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's a season where a lot of things happen. It's a season where there's a lot of great stakes. It's a season where everyone has to go through something. It's a really, really good season. I haven't read the manga for the season, but I know it's just a slightly more evil than the season, but they don't stray too far away from. It's not like Duelist Kingdom where they strayed too far away from it and made it more kiddie. This is definitely more mature, but they definitely pull back on a little bit more of the matureness, but it's definitely there. So I would recommend checking out season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. Of course, we'll do it in the future at some point because at this point we kind of have to, based on how this season went. Any final words before we head out and we're back for the summer?
I did it. We went through season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Hey man,
I feel
some would say you solo leveled your way through it.
Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Hey man.
But no, Samurai Kame's coming soon, coming at you. Really my favorite time of the year. I'm gonna get Meelz to try to watch something ridiculous. That's my favorite part. Is getting you to watch something that you're like typically would not watch.
As long as it's not long. I don't know. We'll see. But with that said, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting the Lookout. You can listen to the Lookout at anywhere where you listen to podcasts. And yeah, don't meet us there, beat us there. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.